A lot, my keys are lost, I'm reeking of beer. Well, I'm not fussed, no, I've had a good night. The cheap drinks, the good friends, the bright lights. I've been out here living my nightlife. The whole time you haven't crossed my mind. And my friends said you want the right type, and you made it pretty clear that right. Tomorrow's headspins be alright, 'cause I'm starting a new chapter. I've had enough, yeah, been enough. Yeah, I've had enough. Yeah, been enough. Yeah, I've had you want it. I've had enough. Yeah, been enough. Yeah, I've had enough. Yeah, been enough.
Good afternoon, my Frisbee friends. We're here in the men's division of the European Ultimate Championships 2019 in power pools now as Germany take on Austria.
Wait, I thought this was Switzerland Ireland.
It actually is Switzerland Ireland, yeah. A bit of both. We might be able to snag some of the game. The Irish got booted there by the powers that be.
Decided that we've already seen Ireland and Switzerland on the stream this week, so getting a little bit of variety in our team selection.
Yeah, actually had covered the Germans already. Saw them beat Italy on field 1.
And we did.
But we're getting a little taste of the Austrians now, as they're going upwind on offense. Liam Grant joined by Benji Rees.
What up?
Much more relaxed version of the less relaxed version, Benjamin Rees.
Yes, indeed. What a throw. Nice confident possession there from the Austrians. Mikko Potniks make the symbol for pints as he runs on the field. What a man.
International symbol for pints. Looking like the Surfer Shaka, not to be confused.
It's definitely pints. Nice. That was a good start by the Austrians. They look pretty confident on that shot to the end zone. Not really flustered at all by that German zone. There is a bit of wind, it has to be said. One of the parasols came a cropper over on field 1 earlier in the day.
Yeah, but this Austrian offense definitely not coming a cropper here as they march up the field. Bit of history between these two nations, you'd have to say.
A little bit, yeah, as both on and off the Frisbee field. Konstantinov with a nice little leading, almost Blady style flick. Have a look at it again here. Right into that front corner of the end zone, tied in by number 37, Julian Mentz. Originally from Italy, although he doesn't speak any Italian.
Does he speak broken Italian, perhaps, like the chef in The Simpsons?
Probably.
Sorry, I mean broken English and Italian accent. That's what you want to get.
He probably does that too, yeah.
I know one word of Italian.
Which is?
Allora.
Which is?
Kind of just means well. Apparently what old people say to each other as they're walking down the street.
Well, we were speaking with Steph earlier, obviously, like, you hear the Italians go like sinistra and destra for left and right. I'm saying that sinister is like, this has the same root as the word evil, it means left, because people thought left-handed people were the devil's people. And so people who are ambidextrous technically means you have 2 right hands.
Oh, I'm actually ambidextrous.
Are you?
I am. So I'm a
what,
double
you're
devil.
equally inept with both hands?
That is exactly it. One lefty on the field for Germany, that is Stefan Doscher. Pretty sure the only lefty on the German O-line.
Doscher traditionally played in the mixed division for Hässlich Erdviertel, the ugly aardvarks of Marburg. And he's one of the players who's now been integrated into the open side setup for Germany.
Muller being forced backhand. Not afraid to send it, but works the under here. Marcel Hartmann. Oh, he just got hand blocked on the mark. Would you believe it? Fantastic stuff. Michael Geisel.
Geisel is what my dad would describe as a big old unit. He is a very imposing physical presence on the defensive side of the disc. Hello, that's going to be an ill-advised hammer, I would say.
You're still using old units in the UK as well.
Yes, we are. Correct. When we, at least when it suits us. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. You can never trust us Brits. And actually, now we're leaving the EU, we'll be able to have them all back again. At last, I'll be able to buy my pound of potatoes with an errant greengrocer's apostrophe.
Yeah, unfortunately, that'll be the end of your commentary career, as you'll no longer be able to get a visa to work in Europe. So
I'll still have UK nationals.
the big one, which will soon be overtaken by Irish teams.
And rightly so.
Yeah. Samuel Boyden-Mueller.
One of 3 Boyden-Muellers, which, if you ask me, is a little bit unfair.
Yeah, they should lend a few maybe to this Austrian side, who got to turn off this German O-line.
Do you think if I changed my surname to Boyden-Mueller, I'd get on this squad?
Yes, you would.
I'll think about that.
That is Florian Bowler with the goal.
I'll be honest, when I first saw Bowler, I thought he was actually wearing tracksuit trousers, which I was not a fan of, but it turns out he's just got very, very dark compression tights and knee braces on. Which I will just about let off. Lovely little lefty getting it around the mark.
And this is probably the, dare I say, the coldest it's been here in Hungary. It's down to a very chilly 23, 24 degrees.
I might put a jumper on. I'm not. I don't think I brought a jumper with me this week.
And you can see the wind starting to pick up, going from right to left. So both teams going upwind to score their offensive points.
Yeah, 2 holds so far. The German airline turned it, but the Austrians, with an errant hammer out the back, gave it back to them.
Oliver Young going to take the pull now for the Germans. Was an O-line handler back in 2015 where they got a silver medal. Usually playing in the mixed division for Karlsruhe. And that pull caught by Goschnik. Up to Peters Storfer. Big up the line gainer for Sebastian Rees.
A little bit of a milk in there as well.
Have you had any milk yet here in Hungary?
I'm not really a milk drinker. And actually, when we went to Tesco Express last night, there was no flavoured milk to be found in the place, a sure sign that there are Frisbee players in town. That and the lack of gelatin cubes. You can never buy jelly cubes whenever there's a big Frisbee tournament on.
Also, ice becomes a rarity, I think, around town.
Well, especially in these temperatures.
Yeah, but the crisp, cool offense of Austria now as they shoot the end zone. Another perfect hold. Sebastian Goschnik. Looking good here.
The Austrians looking the more comfortable of the 2 sides early on in this game, but obviously it is early on in this game. Plenty of time left. Just a little over 6 minutes on the clock. Games played to 100 minutes this week, or first to 15, and we'll probably get to that score cap if the team's playing this high quality of offense.
Yeah, this game almost as good as the Ireland-Switzerland game, which has happened concurrently, 1 field away.
Are you bitter, Liam?
I'm bitter all the time. I think exceptionally bitter, much like my almost fake Radler drink we've been drinking.
The thing is, that's not bitter at all, is it? If anything, it's got a little bit of sourness to it.
Tomato, veggie.
No, it's lemon.
I did have tomato-flavoured crisps, bit of ketchup-flavoured, popular here in Hungary.
Ketchup?
Yeah, speaking of ketchup grass, one of the top teams
in Austria.
Yep. Austria, yeah.
There's another few of the top club sides to see. There's the 2 Vienna sides, forwards, and the big Easy as well. There's the Austrian even club sides have made an impact on the European stage for a few years now, and they've combined their forces to make this strong side.
Nice pull by the Austrians, fielded by Müller to Marvin Waldvogel. Now up to Reinhardt. Inside pass to Müller. Looks off Holger going deep, which is a difficult thing to do. We have Samuel Boyden-Mueller. Bowler. Oh, and a big defensive play by Austria. They're ready to go in this afternoon game.
Daniel Sternveld comes flying through to get that disc first.
That is nice. Pass down to Felix Nemec. A good give go. in the power position, goes for the under. Oh, and
Oh, a lot of contact from Holger Beutenmüller on Wolfgang Mitterer.
yeah, Wolfgang, a big man. He's calling an injury here. Hopefully he's able to walk it off.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a Freudian slip talk about the Italian club sides. Wolfgang Mitterer did actually play with an Italian club side in the series last year, played with CUSB. So maybe if we see the Italians and Austrians match up later in this tournament, he'll have a little bit of the inside track, along with his teammate, big number 17 of Michael Geisel.
So this Austrian D-line looking to get a break. Oh, and this floats over the heads, and again, there's two opportunities the Austrians have had, haven't been able to convert them.
You feel like with the side, the quality of Germany, if you don't take advantage of these opportunities, it's going to come and bite you in the bum a little bit.
Losing off the field, Samuel Beutenmüller, Nico Müller, Stefan Doscher gone. The evil left-handed man catches it with both hands.
An ambidextrous catch for Doscher, but a dominant deep threat in the mixed division. And now doing exactly the same in the men's. 10 minutes gone, 2-2. Austria need to get better on this D-line converting, and you feel Mitterer out there would probably be more of a steadying handling presence, but obviously he had to go off the field after that big contact from big Beutenmüller. And that turn you see there of the run through from Sternwald comes to nothing. Over the head, the intended target, Rapotnik lays out but couldn't get there. Sebastian Bauer was the man who was supposed to reel that disc in before it popped over his head. And Nico Müller, back in Germany now after a stint in the USA, lashing it deep into the waiting arms of Stefan Doscher.
So see that pancake catch there. Are you a man left hand on top or right hand on top with the pancake catch?
So I tend to go dominant hand on top, which for me is right hand on top. But I'm trying to teach myself to work out left hand on top, depending on what the angle comes in. Obviously, sometimes it's better to get that right hand on top, but depending on how you're tracking it, sometimes you're really trying to contort your wrists there to get it to stick in. So you need to practice getting that left hand on top if it comes in at the right angle, which if you're receiving it, it's like an outside in backhand shape. Otherwise, it's really contorting your wrists.
We see Germans coming out of zone defense and transitioning to a match defense. Trying to stop any set plays from the Austrians, but they've done very little to slow down this Austrian O-line.
They made the transition from playing zone offense to personal offense nicely, and as I say that, obviously the curse of the commentator strikes. Trying to get a lead pass through. Defended, now Haas finds Hugen on the far sideline.
Yeah, who got that block in the lane. Hugen to Doscher, who stayed on the field for a bit of defense.
Doscher, one of the players the Germans are happy to let play on both lines.
You know, I think a lot of people doubted whether he'd be able to hang in this men's division, but if not, he looks better, I think, in this men's division. A top player in Europe.
Those people were fools, Liam.
Now a chance for the Germans to break, and they do just that in their first opportunity. Clinical stuff.
Number 99, Felix Nguyen catching the goal for the Germans. We talked about the Austrians had an opportunity on both of the first German O points and couldn't convert either of them. And a first chance, the German D-line gets the disc so strong, punching it in without much fuss. 3-2 they break. Felix Nguyen, 30-year-old, been playing 11 years. Also played in the Australian season. Played out there with Colony from Sydney. One of my Australians is going to... Yep, Jack gives me the thumbs up in the booth. Thanks, Jack. Love you.
Yeah, not my favorite Felix. My favorite Felix being, of course, Felix Schadlow, representing. Don't know if either of these teams will play some hex offense.
I don't think so, but we can but dream, can't we?
We can only dream. I told Ravi before coming to the event, he asked me what plug sockets do they have in Hungary, and I told him they have hexagonal plug sockets. I don't know if he believed me or not. I said it was a 5-pronger.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't believe you if you said it was hexagonal and a 5-pronger. Hexagons famously...
Of course, the plug sockets here is shaped like a Z.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. We've all bought our Hungarian adapters.
We all know where the power lies here in Hungary. I actually had a very enjoyable breakfast this morning in university accommodation.
Yeah, so did I. And some nice eggs. I made you a sandwich.
You made me a sandwich.
Aren't I nice?
You were more than just that. You were exceptionally nice, Benji.
Ah, thank you.
I think your commentary skills is equally matched by your sandwich making skills.
Oh, sorry everyone. Hey, given I didn't have a huge amount to work with, I think I did pretty good.
That's the best sandwich I've had in Hungary.
Not hungry anymore.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
A little bit.
There's a game with Frisbee going on.
Oh yeah, so there is. The Austrian side is just about keeping it alive, or maybe not. A German zone getting a turn in relatively short field. Hartmann crossing over to the D-line. Finding a cutter coming underneath in Reusch. And jamming it in the jam hole. Back to Hartmann. Germans lead 4-2.
Nice offhand lefty there from Reusch. A man who's played with Swiss team Free Speed in the past. We're not swimming Switzerland right now. Why are we not swimming Switzerland right now, Benji?
We've already streamed Switzerland, and we've already streamed Ireland. Not 4 hours ago. Actually, it was 4 hours ago. 5 hours ago.
He's ready for a double dose of the Irish. We'll see if we can get any updates about
you and no one else, Liam. Hello to all our Irish viewers watching at home, whether that's on Fancy or on the EUF Facebook page or YouTube channels. You know what? You do realize we have like live scoring at this event, thanks to actually, and everyone watching at home, if you want to see what's going on around the complex, EUC2019.ultimatecentral.com is where you can find out what's going on in that match. Currently tied at 3 apiece.
Oh, that sounds like a great game. Much closer margin than this one.
If you want to wonder what's going on field one on our Fancy exclusive stream in the stadium, Finland are 5-0 up on Switzerland. Switzerland who beat GB in sudden death earlier today after GB beat Finland in sudden death yesterday. That game not looking like it's going to be quite as close. I think it's fair to say.
Yep, yeah, I think you're right to say that.
Italy and Germany, which is the other game in that, Italy and GB, which is the other game in that women's power pool, is apparently 0-0 after 15 minutes, which I would find a little odd.
Bit of a timeout now. I wonder if we get a little peek at the Irish game.
You're just gagging for the Irish game, aren't you?
Give the people what they want.
Is the people you, Liam? And maybe Lorcan at home if he's watching. He's the sort of nerd that would watch Ultimate.
Yeah. Very tight game between Ireland and Switzerland going on as well.
Leave it. Oh, aren't you lucky? Oh, it looks like there's a foul call involving the Irish. That surprises no one.
Surprise, surprise. Ned Garvey actually banned from the nation of Ireland after a recent article. I saw Mark Fanning was not impressed.
He's not even British.
He's going to tell them that he had Irish heritage, and like, definitely don't say that. That's going to make it worse.
Is this like everyone on the East Coast of America claiming they've got Irish heritage?
Yes, exactly.
Like the Boston Celtics. You're from Boston. Come on now.
I'm enjoying every moment of this Irish game as we see them just talking.
Besides, everyone knows that Celtic are from Glasgow, which isn't even in Ireland. Idiots. Come on now, Boston.
We're taking Scotland. We're taking Scotland back.
What? When we leave the EU and Scotland leaves us and then rejoins the EU?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
And after some riveting stuff there in the Ireland-Switzerland game, we're back here. Germany up 2 breaks on the Austrians. I picked Germany to win this division, Benji.
I know you did. I listened to your semi-popular podcast, Eurozone. We did a little Eurozone live stream yesterday, didn't we? During, what was it, Denmark mixed versus Russia mixed, in a game that was haunted, apparently, I heard. To be a spirit timeout.
Yeah, thankfully, no Banshees here in the men's division. Field 2, Liam Grant alongside Benji Rees. And another turnover from Austria. They started this game so well.
They've crumbled a little bit, like the Berlin Wall. And the Berlin Wall gets the turn and then punches it in. 5-2 the Germans lead now after Austria looked very good early on. They have, maybe they're solar powered and the lack of sunshine has played against them here.
Yeah, the Austrians doing well in this tournament so far.
Making their way up to power pools. They were in the same pool as Great Britain. They finished second in that pool.
Actually had a tight game against Israel.
They did, one in sudden death, I think. 11-10? You know what, I could just check that rather than guessing. But that would be less fun. I'm going to say 11-10. Any guesses?
12-10.
12-10.
12-11. Definitely was
12-11. 11-10! Boom! They also beat the Czech Republic 15-8 in a rematch of the windmill bronze medal game where the Czech Republic came out victorious. They beat Netherlands 15-8 as well, went down 15-9 to Great Britain. The Germans actually finished top of their power pool. If Ultimate Central lets me find out exactly how they did, I'll come back to you on that one.
So the score now, 5-2 to the Germans.
Is that the correct pronunciation?
Deutschland.
Yeah. Yeah, Germany beat Russia 15-8, Italy 15-10 in that game we streamed, Latvia 15-6, Slovakia 15-1, and obviously they're 5-2 up now in this game against Austria, with Switzerland Ireland, the other game going on in this power pool at the moment as Austria cross their D-line over to play some offense.
And playing some classic D-line offense here, shooting at Holger Beutmüller, crossing over as well, boxed out. Hard man to keep away from the disc, but that was beautiful offense, as you said, from players usually associated with the D-line.
I mean, if Route 1 Ultimate works, why would you go to Route 2? Alexander Sparholz catching the goal for the Austrians. He's a student. He also plays a bit of CSGO, which I understand is some sort of computer game with guns and things. It's not really my sort of thing, Counter-Strike.
I think your sort of thing is musical theater.
Yeah, I was raised on a staple diet of musical theatre, video game rise, probably more in the Pokemon section of things, I reckon.
Alexander Sparholz showing himself to be master of the house there in the end zone, keeping out Holger Beutmüller.
That's good work. It's a lovely bit of business, Liam. It's a lovely bit of business. Keeper of the keys locks out Holger Beutmüller.
We saw in that Italian game, Germany looked, again, the dominant side, but it was Andrea Mastriani, I think is how you pronounce his name, the maestro, who actually got a big sky on Holger Beutmüller, something that doesn't happen too often.
Mastroianni is a mercurial player. He can do brilliant things, and also he can be maddening to watch at some points. That pull is going to land out of, just takes the top of the thing. I thought for a second it was going to go all the way out of the field complex. But still not a particularly good pull. A little bit of shame cam ISO on Michael Geisel there.
For shame.
So the D-line, as a hard work, as a valiant reward for punching in an offense, they have to run out and do more Frisbee. Marvin Waldvogel brings the disc in for Germany.
Sends it straight away. Holger wants to get this one back. He's going to set up his jump. Oh, goes for the box, gets it on the second attempt.
Rapotnik tried to go up early and it just, in the end, cleaned out Beutmüller a little bit, but Beutmüller held his focus, laid out, made the grab. Nice little apology afterwards from Nico. Slap of hands with Holger, and Germany reopened the 3-point lead, 6-3. Both sides now wanting to bang in a bit, and I'm not necessarily against that, Liam.
You're a big Route 1 man.
I mean, I'm not against a little bit of rooting, I'll be honest.
I'm glad you don't know Australian vernacular. That might be interpreted in a different way. As we see Holger Beutmüller getting horizontal.
Don't I? What a grab by Holger. The thing is with Holger, he makes plays like that and it's just like, oh, yeah, of course he did that. It you don't even think about actually that's incredibly difficult to keep your balance and keep your composure.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the disc go up, I was just pretty sure it was going to end up in his hands. That was the case. Not exactly how he intended it to happen.
stood in front of us at the moment is Wolfgang Mitter. He's got some sort of strapping on his hand now. He's got his forefinger and his middle finger taped together. So I don't know if we'll be seeing him again this game, and that's a huge loss for the Austrians.
Yeah, Wolfie muzzles up for the time being.
Don't see enough Wolfgangs, in my opinion.
Can't say I know too many. Now a zone look again from the Germans. We'll see if they'll melt out of it.
Shouldn't his name be Wolfpack rather than Wolfgang? Surely that's the wrong collective noun.
I'm a fan of my collective nouns. Do you know what a collective noun is for peacocks?
Tell me.
A muster of peacocks.
That's good. I quite like a Parliament of Owls.
I didn't know Parliament of Owls.
Murder of Crows, obviously, famously.
We're doing a quiz here, Benji. Collective noun for jellyfish.
Smack.
Damn straight, Benjamin Rees. An expert in many things.
I think more tournaments should have like a pub quiz. That's what I want to see. Oh, what a take! Lorenz Zerler skying, boxing out the German defenders for the goal. I thought that was going to be defended, but he got up high, nice and early, and reeled it in with an outstretched left hand. Normally we see him on the D-line. This is the first time we've really played on the O-line, and he's shown here that he belongs.
Yeah, great positioning there, getting high up into the air. Austrians kind of find their form again. I think having a lot of success with these deep shots.
What a fantastic take. It's interesting to see the teams going towards the deep shot, because given the wind, you think maybe they'd back off and maybe a bit more conservative with a small C, obviously. But not to labour the point, but the offense here is really expansive from both sides, and it's really very good to see.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are actually trying to take away the underzone, forcing that deep shot a lot. And very brave teams here, they're going to take it.
Yeah, I must admit the defense is baiting a little bit, and they're being a bit liberal with the way they're setting up, but they're doing a very good job of taking the shots and placing them positionally and taking them down from out of the sky.
Talking to coach Stefan Riquet before this game, he was pointing out how they're being streamed twice and GB haven't been streamed at all. I think he's wondering about scouts watching them or not being able to scout the British.
I'm sure they have little sparrows around somewhere. Besides, they've played against each other enough to work out what's going on.
Now a shot to Beutmuller, thinking about the deep shot.
Holger Beutmuller, last year's men's European Player of the Year in the Ulti-World European Awards, which we had a nice little WhatsApp long discussion about.
And that is a buttery biscuit for the goal. Beutmuller to Beutmuller, brotherly love.
You can see why why he got that pick, can't you?
I do indeed. I have a lot to say about it, in fairness. I think of the last 10 years, I think Justin Ford probably would have won a 9 out of 10. But it was the first time we did the awards last year, so I think Justin will be looking to get that back. Get it on his mantelpiece.
Is there an actual award?
Yes.
What does it look like?
I can't tell you.
It's a secret. You can only find out what it looks like if you win.
And maybe you call around to the Beutmuller house for a cup of tea.
Maybe some biscuits like that one. Pretty good throw, that. Pretty good throw. So, you know how a couple point is called the honey pass? Is there one for like a family point?
The bunny pass?
Oh, what, because they have big families? Yeah, not... Don't know, because like in other sports you refer to like a bunny as someone you've got a really bad record against. Or
That's true.
Like in cricket, a bunny is like someone who's just like hopeless with the bat. So I don't know if like a bunny pass works. And like, crew, we're open to suggestions. Actually, tell you what, you can @ us on Twitter or Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at Benjamin Rees. Instagram, at Benji Rees with a Y, not an I. Thank you very much. What about you? You're on the socials, aren't you, Liam?
Yeah, I'm pretty big on the gram, not gonna lie. At Liam Granty, so that's Liam Grant with a Y at the end.
Not an I.
Not an I.
Good man. Pound it. See there's
the Slovenian team.
The white and green jerseys for Slovenia I'm not a fan of. The ones with the blue at the top I quite like. The pastel blue is a look I don't think enough teams do. Edgars is getting us a little shot of...
Moser is there to this for Switzerland, moving across the field, and that is a great goal for Switzerland.
Robin blew that in with the goal for the Swiss, as they're no doubt battering the Irish.
Of course, the Irish do love being battered, much like the food we get in Ireland from time to time.
What's the strangest food you've ever had in batter?
I had some strange food and batter about 2 days ago in our accommodation here in Hungary. I'm not sure quite what it was.
Block of cheese in batter.
Yeah, it was the Irish team doing the battering earlier on in this tournament, beating Poland 15-1.
Yeah, that was a big old win. Getting some breadsticks out of the bakery there. It looks like Switzerland have just tied things up at 5 apiece in that game. Meanwhile, 7-4 here between Germany and Austria.
That Ireland-Switzerland game, a big game for me and Ravi. We all predicted the same semi-finals, except for I have Ireland making semis, he has Switzerland making semis. So
does he?
Yeah.
I've got Ireland in my semis, along with I've got GB over Germany, I think, in the final, and I've also got you've got Austria and I've got Ireland in there. And obviously, when big brain box Benji Weiss wins the picks contest, I'm going to, you know, like when cool people get like knighted, they turn it down. I'm going to turn down my free Ulti World subscription. I'm not really. There's loads of good content on there, I'm sure. Like the special bonus Eurozone subscribers only podcast. Apparently there was a bit about good commentary, but I haven't listened to it, so I don't know. Oh, hello. That is a huge backpack.
Yeah, I think he's done some time in Canada there, Jan Schmidt.
Maybe he's spent too much time at the Lucky Grass stall. Thought, oh, I quite like the look of that, and thought he would emulate it on the field. Jan Schmidt, usually we see playing with his brother Lars. Actually, it's twin brother Lars, but he's out teaching at a German school in Malaysia, and he's not returning till the end of the summer.
Yeah, unfortunately he can't be here. But yeah, that one is something Stefan Rapazzo might have called a great bid at the World Ultimate Guts Championships 2012.
Famously impartial Steph Rapazzo. Oh, nearly gets it again. Sebastian Rees, great surname. Slightly dodgy spelling. Austrians swinging it around the back at the moment. German handler mark sagging off, trying to gum up the downfield movement. Mentz into the middle. Doppelbauer looking around desperately to try and find a player free. Schlor with a big bid, can't get there, gets up back on his feet. See him wearing those red calf compression sleeves. Continuation into the end zone, can't reel it in, didn't quite stick the landing.
There's some intense pressure from the Germans, letting the Austrians know they're there.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. That's going to leave a mark. Lots of players crossing over to the German D-line now. They want to put a strong line out, break again to take half. Schlur finds Duscher.
Schlor going to launch one, a hopeful hook. Who gets underneath it? Oh, and a bad read from the Germans, and mopped up well by Julian Menz.
High release over the top, and it's going to be a Callahan for the Germans. Jan Schmidt getting the goal to break for half-time.
Yeah,
Hot damn.
That was the lesson of maybe walking up to the front of the end zone, Benji, when you get a D like that.
I can't disagree with you there. Sometimes if there's a player wide open, it's good, and you can see that the Germans rowing the boats down the river of the break, sailing into the second half with an 8-4 lead. I say sailing, obviously you wouldn't row a sailboat. My parents would be ashamed of me, Christ.
Reminds me of something you might see at an Irish wedding, the old rock the boat. But it's the Austrian boat that's being rocked right now by this stellar German defense. Callahan to take half.
And they are rocking and rolling all over the Austrians right now. Seeing again, just couldn't quite stick the landing, and then The Germans turn it over deep, but that's why you kind of don't mind turning it over deep on the D-line, because setting them up in tough field position meant looked for a quick throw, but he set his pivot foot and there was nothing available. I think maybe he could have got that, but decided to look it off and goes for a high release, trying to get it over the top, but the throw sat on the wind. You're going to see it again here from this low angle. Trying to get the high release because he sees Holger Beutenmüller there. And actually, it's a lot of pressure there. Not a very well-advised throw. Would have gone with something trying to get a little high, maybe an overhead of sort, but maybe thought I'm going to be sensible and not do that, and it didn't pay off. Sometimes you've got to be a little bit spicy.
Yeah, maybe better off trying to throw under Holger Beutenmüller than over him. It was a risky business trying to get over that big fella. But yeah, half-time here in the men's division. Telling you a game that's still going on and not in half-time, Benji.
Will you let this drop? Will you let this die?
No, I will not. This is the game we're supposed to be streaming.
It's a game we were supposed to be streaming. Emphasis on were.
See Matthew Feely there at the disc. Oh, pass is going to work out. Andrew Cleary for Ireland. Oh, and we're back to look at some replays of this game.
Yes, because this is the game we're covering, Liam. Why don't you do your job? Honestly, disgraceful. Who hired this guy?
Who did hire me?
Good question. Here's another look at that Callahan. Yoink. Pretty good half there for the Germans. The Austrians had 2 break opportunities early on, don't forget, and they didn't cash in on either of them, and it's not worked out for them. So they're on the just looking at. See, you're watching the Ireland-Switzerland game. Killian Finn couldn't reel in a deep flip. He's got a lot of tattoos on that leg. It's like a full leg sleeve. It's an interesting look, that.
It's full pant, I think it's called.
The full pant. Excellent. You got any tattoos, Liam?
I do have one tattoo, yes, Benji.
What is it?
It is a penguin.
Where is it?
I knew that question was coming. It is on my glute. Gluteus maximus.
Do you also know what the next question is going to be?
Why or how did I get it, I'm guessing?
Yes, both of those.
This sounds like a good halftime story. So
Halftime story time.
Halftime story time. So I was
Crack a beer open, lads.
19
And lasses.
years old in University in Galway. We have a thing called Rag Week, which is like a party week. And I used to draw penguins quite a lot.
Doesn't RAG stand for raising and giving?
Yes. Yeah.
What were you raising your blood alcohol content?
And giving myself a lot of pain in the form of a tattoo. But anyway, yeah, I was drunk and I used to draw about one in a day. I used to draw penguins quite a lot. I don't know how this came to be, but my friend is like, if you like penguins so much, you get a tattoo. And I was like, I'll do it. And I bet him a fiver that I would. So I left my college apartment, headed downtown Galway City, went to tattoo parlor number 1. They're like, no, we're not tattooing you. You're clearly intoxicated. Tattoo parlor number 2, same story. Tattoo parlor number 3, run by these very professional Venezuelan men. Was
just right. Was it the Goldilocks tattoo parlor?
Yeah, it was, of course. And yeah, so these Venezuelan lads, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, do you have a picture of what you want? I was like, I do not. So we go on to Google Images. I don't know if you're familiar with it. And
I've heard of it, yeah.
Attempt to spell the word penguin and are very far from the correct spelling. And at that moment, I hesitated slightly, but went through with it, went upstairs to what seemed like this Venezuelan man's bedroom and not a very professional outfit. And that bed was just right as I lay down in his bed, and he proceeded to essentially drill me in the buttocks. And it was painful. And I then returned to my friends and like, look, I got a tattoo. And they're like, that's not real. And they're like, can we touch it? I'm like, absolutely not. It's red and sore. And this went on for weeks of them not believing me it was real. I'd have it covered and putting cream on it. And I couldn't sit in college lectures for weeks. It's a poor place to get a tattoo if anyone's thinking about it.
I was not, no.
I actually massaged your gluteus maximus earlier today.
Yeah, you did borrowed a little like Phoenix massage machine from the Danish mix side, which was most welcome. I must admit, I got a tattoo.
Oh.
No, I didn't. I got a temporary tattoo at Windmill. I got a little face one and a nice little tramp stamp, which was lovingly applied by one of our commentators here, Hannah Pendlebury. was a strong look. Took me ages to get off though, just like scrubbing it away in the shower. Couldn't get rid of it.
So I think it's 6-5 currently in the Switzerland-Ireland game. This is the Ireland O-line, so I think they've turned over. Switzerland have now a chance to break. Probably the first break of the game, if I was to guess.
So it was only for a £5, €5 as well, which weren't even worth much back then.
No, yeah, and the tattoo cost me 50 quid, so it was a net loss of 45, but...
Swiss and turnover, by the way. So how much would we have to pay for you to get like an Ulti TV tattoo like Will Foster has?
I prefer some kind of... Yeah, I'd get one for 50 quid.
Hang on a minute. I'm just going to get off the mic. Guys, Liam will get an Ulti TV tattoo if we pay him 50 quid.
And the cost of the tattoo, I need to point out.
And the cost of the tattoo. Oh, an Ulti League tattoo. Have you heard of Ulti League?
Ultileague.net tattoo. Well, that's something I can't refuse.
That's guerrilla marketing, as opposed to penguin marketing, which would be tattooed somewhere very particular.
Probably more like orangutan marketing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Nice self burn, and actually you've probably picked up a few of those in the Hungarian sun this week as well.
Yeah, but it's now Ireland looking to burn up the line against this Switzerland side, but they throw it out of bounds.
Yeah, that's the wrong pitch. Podge is good, but he's not Superman.
That is the wrong pitch, because they should be on this pitch.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's the problem. Maybe they just didn't want to play on the turf like GB Mixed.
Yeah, I think they play better on this field. They prepped for the turf. I think it's probably why they are currently losing this game.
Are they losing this game?
Yeah, I think it is 6-5 to Switzerland.
Hang on, let's have a look. Let's get a live refresh of Ultimate Central. Breaking news, it's 6-5 to Switzerland. Yeah, you're right. How did you know?
I've been mostly watching that game, if you haven't noticed, Benji.
I had noticed. I think everyone watching at home had noticed. But then we don't hire you for your professionalism.
Nope. No, you did not.
I'm sorry, I love you really.
Oh, that's a break for Switzerland.
Good job we didn't stream this game. You'd be disconsolate.
All right, well, I guess we'll come back now. Second half. Germany taking on Austria in the men's division power pools. Liam Grant alongside Benji Rees. Germany looking to extend this lead as they're going upwind on offense. Kind of a zone look here from Austria, at least.
Maybe they just I think they were just a little bit slow getting on. Oh, no, they are switching a lot downfield, trying to really gum up that movement. Vogel has it for the Germans. Silent getting loud, sun coming back out. Might get a little bit of rainbow action, or just past the bidding defender, and they're going to lash it deep to Beutenmüller. Can he get there? Of course he can. 9-4 for Germany now.
Nico Müller with a weapon of a flick. That thing was on the money. I've seen him do a lot on his backhand tuck, but I think he's been working on that flick.
Looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, that's a combination we've seen so much, and I think I'm looking at combinations around the world in the men's division that are as good as that. One that comes to mind this year has been Mac Hecht and John Randolph.
Oh, yeah. Taking Brownian motion, old BMO to a national championship. I don't think the O-line got broken all weekend, which is insane efficiency.
Yeah, well, this German O-line still, I think, been broken once, have they, Benji?
I think they got broken. Well, I'm pretty sure they got broken earlier on in that game against Italy, but I don't know about their other games. I haven't been able to watch those, unfortunately. You can just see a little bit of rain coming down across the camera lens there as well. Holger waving the disc.
I think he's fanning himself there as the things start to heat up here. The sun is back out. Two of his biggest fans here in the commentary booth.
Also, if there's anyone here at the field site who's seen my phone, could you let me know? Just give me a ring. I'm sure that'll work.
Don't all ring at once.
I'll be honest, it's not the strangest thing I've asked for on the stream. When we did UK Masters Nationals, we ran down the battery on Will's car, so we had to ask the internet if anyone could come to Glastonbury with jump leads.
Did it work?
We did get it started in the end, yeah. Felix's brother Ed, who's the tournament organiser of Glasgow, was able to give us a jump, which was much appreciated.
Lucas Konstantinov. Gonna take this at the brick mark. Horizontal stack here from Austria. Germany setting up a poach, kind of 2 people standing deep of stack, 2 people occupying the under space. Austrians with lots of time to see what's going on. Let's see how they react downfield.
Just going to swing to start it off. Nice. Sensible start, if not necessarily particularly aggressive.
And now we see a transition to a more honest defense. I like that from Germany, to stop whatever set plays, the first 2 cuts.
Especially off a bricked pool where they know they've got something in mind. Great layout bid. Catches it, lands, calls an injury.
Yeah, a bit of a synchronized dive right there. I know we had the World Gymnastics Championships here in Hungary. None of the diving here, though. That one in perfect sync, because we see them both going for it there.
Yeah, a little bit of synchronicity there. Maybe more seen in the pool. What would your, if you were in the Olympics, right, what sport would you go for?
Well, clear, it'd be surfing. Surfing now added to the Olympics this year, going to be in Tokyo, Japan.
Boom. I reckon I could get good enough at curling to get in there. I get so into the curling every Winter Olympics.
I think curling is like, if Frisbee got into Summer Olympics, it'd be the curling of the Summer Olympics.
Canadian cornhole, they call it. Actually, for the first time ever, the Alti TV crew tossed a little corn at Windmill. It was good fun, a nice way to wind down on the Sunday evening.
And that corn toss does not go to hand. Philip Haas now picking it up for the Germans. The 31-year-old calls a timeout. I heard recently became a father.
Congratulations.
I can't believe he's 31. He's a young-looking man.
Yeah, wasn't he? It seems like only a few years ago he was representing on the US Next Gen College Tour.
Yeah, now part of the Last Gen crew.
Nice. Obviously, that has now since been replaced by, we did the AO All-Stars last year. You were out there covering that week, or 2 weeks, fortnight, however long it was, and the Eurostars Tour is now going to be in its 3rd year. It's good to see more promotion of the women's side of the game as well.
Yeah, no, Anna Gerner, one of the Germans, who'll be representing there. I'm not sure if there's any Austrians on this side.
There is, and I think I know who it is, but I don't want to claim that I do and then get it wrong. So if you can bear with me for 5 seconds while I stall a little bit and pretend that I had this all along, and I am just refreshing my memory. Betty Schnedel for the Austrian women. It is who I thought it was, but I didn't want to throw anyone under the boat.
Oh, no wonder Toshnarova is actually living in Vienna.
Which one?
Yeah, one of them.
Can you tell them apart?
I can tell them apart, I just don't know which one's living in Vienna. But one of them definitely is.
Yes, that is true. Sarah is going to be representing on the Eurostars Tour for the Czech Republic, the younger of the two. If you ask me, they're probably both more than good enough to play on that tour.
Yeah, I was talking to Rachel last night. Maybe a tiny bit bitter that she didn't get picked.
I would never accuse her of such a thing. At least not on the stream where she could possibly hear me.
Well, as you said, definitely good enough to be on there with her sister. Maybe she'll get to go next year.
Who knows? Are we going to get like an Ameristars tour where they build like an American super team to come on and take on some of the European national countries? That could be quite fun. Oh wait, no, that's just Worlds, isn't it? God, I'm an idiot.
That is just Worlds.
Sorry, everyone. It's been a long week. And we're only at Tuesday. We're only at Tuesday, Liam. We've still got like a whole week of Ultimate left. It's insane.
Is it? I thought it was Wednesday.
No, it's definitely Tuesday. See, look, Tuesday, July 2nd.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Time flies when you're having fun.
How strong is this Rattler?
Almost as strong as this German D-line. Stefan Doscher, oh, not getting in the air there. Not often you see him unable to reel one in.
I thought there was a potential chance for Mushawak to get the disc behind, but it looks like he He stopped for a reason. I think there's a potential foul on the throw from Philip Haas.
I think the argument here from the Austrian man is saying that that pretty much went where you intended it to go.
Did the foul really affect it that much? And they're deciding that... I don't know what they're deciding. I didn't see enough. They're deciding that it didn't. Austrian's going to get the disc back. So the curse of the turnout strikes again.
Again, a kind of poachy look here from the Germans. Plenty of people sagging the lanes, kind of a junk look defense.
Trying to get the Austrians to throw some junk here.
What's your worst throw, Benji?
My worst throw, backhand. Genuinely.
I believe it. You definitely got a good scuba. My worst throw is definitely like open side under flick.
Really? Oh, actually, I'd much rather break the mark with a flick than just throw a simple
Agreed.
under backhand. Actually, what I'd rather do is throw a thumb up. But oh, we seem to have this push pass off, don't we?
Oh yeah, maybe we should have got that at halftime. Would have been a great halftime show.
Maybe we'll do it post game as a little treat. Maybe a live Eurozone. Who knows? This is very patient at the moment from Austria. Just playing it around the back, not looking too flustered. Cup comes in, there's an over the top, but instead they take it around to this near sideline.
Gosh, Nick. Across to Kleinhappel. Now a shot to the end zone. 3 Germans in pursuit, but they can't get their great grab under pressure. Skies. Dry Germans.
Yeah. David Doppelbauer getting up highest to rip that one out of the sky. Wow, 27 years old. And I have no more information than that. He's a legal citizen of Austria, as opposed to an EUF citizen or like a community member. You're still allowed those, aren't you?
Looking at some of the stats there, number 76, Paul Dragschnig. Says he's like a jukebox. I know there's a Irish rugby player is known as jukebox because he keeps banging out the hits. I don't know if that's...
apparently it's because throw a coin and a random throw will come out. Hashtag creative handler. Other thing else, Nico Rapotnik, who we see a lot play on the D-line for Austria. Actually, he's on the field now. You can see him in the left-hand side of your picture there, number 77, wearing those sleeves. Apparently he won a rap battle in Perth while playing under 24s. So I wonder if we'll see a repeat of that at the party later in the week.
Yeah, some good hip-hop music down under. You got Hilltop Hoods coming out of Adelaide.
I'll be honest, I'm not very up on Australian hip-hop.
Yeah, I can't imagine you're very up in all hip-hop.
I've got a playlist of hip-hop tracks. It was created by the Sunday Times.
Any down with the grime?
Not a huge grime man, I'll be honest. As we've already discussed, my musical grounding was like musical theatre and Simply Red.
Paul Vogel with Mueller.
I would like to point out I have cool musical tastes now, honest.
What's the coolest musical you think?
Coolest music? I was talking about music in general rather than coolest musicals. Coolest musical? Good question.
It's a bit of a paradox in a way.
South Park, Bigger, Longer and Uncut. That's a musical. You can't tell me it's not a musical.
No, I'll give you that. I think you said earlier pretty much every Disney film is a musical in a way.
Yeah, I mean, they are, yeah. I mean, newer Pixar vintage, less so, but Rainer toughs that throw for Germany, not making sweet music there.
Are you an Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan, Benji?
Yes, I've watched a few series.
Have you seen the musical episode?
I have. The Nightman Cometh.
What are the rules?
I've only seen it the once. I couldn't tell you. What are the rules?
That's one of the bangers in that thing. Probably the most famous song in the episode, and that one goes awry. Another chance for Germany to get a goal on the board. Beutmuller to Beutmuller. I think it's safe to say if you're not sure which German has it, just guess Beutenmüller and you're probably going to be right.
I mean, it's the most common surname on this team. 3 of the brothers playing together. Something I've not seen yet is an entire family of teams. There's a fun team that plays out of Brighton occasionally called Doppelbangers, which is people who look like each other or people in relationships with those people who look like each other. One of my favourite team names. A little bit of pseudo-German there for you.
Do you think there's a greater dynasty in the Ultimate community than the Beutenmüllers?
Oh, this is a good question. Now, there must. How long can it be before we start getting like true 2nd and 3rd generation Ultimate players? Because there are a few probably who's very young, but I don't know any about like 2 like really famous Ultimate parents coming together and having a really famous Ultimate baby. I don't know if we're at that stage yet.
I do know Ben Ort's father.
Yep.
Had an outstanding Ultimate career as well. Looking at some of the, I think the Cardenas sisters already started their own little dynasty there. Just the 2 of them. Struggling to think of families with 3 or more.
Yeah, usually you get a couple, but you don't necessarily get the 3rd.
You got the Wilsons in Great Britain.
Yeah, you've got the Pistavaya sisters. They're the Cartwright brothers as well, playing with GB Open this week.
I think you informed me of the greatest dynasty of all, coming out of Iceland.
Oh, yes, my favourite footballer over Eidiger Johnson making his international debut, coming on as a substitute for his own father. What a man.
Yeah, he used to play up front with Chelsea alongside Damien Duff for a while.
Yeah, he did.
Claudio Ranieri at the helm.
I've told you about the good times I've had with that Chelsea 2004-2005 season review. It's safe to say they are not repeatable on air. Nothing dirty or anything, just not my finest hours.
They're allowed. And we're forced backhand here from the Germans. Konstantinov shoots for the end zone. Big high arcing flick, going into pressure. Oh, goes up too early.
Tries to get it Konstantinov for the defense and couldn't quite do it there. Was too high for everyone. Was mopped up by the Germans.
Schoenbauer. That is a spicy distance. Could be too far. Konrad Schlurer, hard man to overthrow, and does just that. Great bid nonetheless.
Got on his bike, but it would have needed to have been a motorcycle. Needing more cubic centimeters to get the gas to get that one there. That's scorching deep from Oliver Young. I see him steady himself, try to scoop it up with the trailing edge, but it's always just too far for him. Sun has very much returned now. I've been deliberately trying to stay out of the sun all day, so I don't have to apply suntan lotion. Oh, blocked by the Germans. Right on the end zone line.
Anna Royce goes for the swing. Kronecker trying to get free. Gonna have to go back around again. Young to Schmidt.
Schmidt already with a Callahan to his name in this game. There's going to be a stoppage here for a pick.
Which you think is better, playing Ultimate, the Callahan or Greatest?
Greatest Callahan.
Whoa.
I've not seen one of those yet. It's one of the few things I haven't seen. I've seen someone catch a point block, not like tip it and catch it, but literally catch a point block. That might be the greatest thing I've ever seen on an Ultimate pitch. That wasn't a half bad though. Raking inside flick from Schlur. Finds Riemer for the goal.
Yeah, Felix Riemer. A couple of Felixes on the field, at least 3 that I know of. 4 if you count our camera crew member.
I mean, he's technically on the field if he's not on the field. You know?
Let's see here, look at the German pack there, hunting for that disc. Just 2 or 3 times now, every time Austria hook it, there's a heap of Germans coming down in pursuit.
Drawn to it like a moth to a flame.
A couple of moths in your rooms last night, Benji.
Don't. Like, I'm generally fine with insects and creepy crawlies and stuff like that, but I cannot stand moths. Oh, I just... That's one of my least favourite things. That and pineapples.
They're just a poor man's butterfly, you know?
Yeah, they're horrible and dusty. The way they flitter around and they like eat your clothes and stuff. Oh, just not nice. Pineapple. Yeah, as I say, that and pineapples.
Have you ever had moths on a pizza?
Can't say I have. I'll be honest.
Well, that's how I feel about pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, the only kind of moth I like is the session moth. That's my kind of moth. You're surprised that I knew that, didn't you?
I was surprised you know all the things you do, Benji. You never failed to surprise me. But the Austrians looking to surprise Germany here with a big comeback. Needless to say, the Ireland-Switzerland game much tighter.
Let it go, man.
Is that your favorite musical?
Frozen. I heard rumours that apparently they're working on a stage version of that. I think it's been in the States, so hopefully it's going to come into London. But it's not my favourite Disney film, no. Robin Hood. Disney's Robin Hood. My favourite. Me and my brother had that. My brothers had that on a like a VHS when we were younger. We watched it so much. We literally watched it to death. We wore the tape out. We watched it so much.
I think I had 3 tapes growing up. Definitely one of them was Jumanji.
You know what? You know what film doesn't hold up? Jumanji.
What?
I'm sorry, it doesn't. Have you seen the new one?
Oh, that I have not seen the new one.
Oh, the new one's actually a lot better than it should be. Oh, this is spicy. Can he toe it in the back line? Yes, he can. Alexander Sparholz with a second fantastic goal for the Austrians.
Yeah, great performance, much like Robin Williams.
In Jumanji. Yes, of course. Yeah, honestly, it's dated a bit, but the new one was pretty good. What were your other tapes you had on repeat as a kid?
Definitely had Snow White, the 7 Dwarfs.
Yep.
And also there was one, I think it was Ariel, which was about a seal. I think they came in the bumper. Oh no, it was Flubber. It was Flubber.
Flubber. It's an interesting box sets. Of course, obviously the 7 Dwarves. Happy, Sleepy, Sneezy, Dopey,
Bashful,
and
Doc,
Benji. We had Sword in the Stone as well. Watched that quite a lot when I was younger. That was a good one. Why do you find it so funny that I had Disney films on tapes? You're not a Disney fan, Liam? Why of all things is that the thing that's broken you? Can someone get this man some water, please? You all right there, Liam? You recovered?
Yes, I've recovered significantly as the Austrians tried to recover some breaks in this game. But as the Germans going down with an offense, Reinhardt fires one.
Hockety pockety whacks it deep.
Waldvogel, sensational play, getting horizontal, spikes it through his legs. Very nonchalant, like that.
Good. It's a good layout, good spike, good frisbee all round from the Germans. You're right there, man. What was it about the Sword in the Stone that sent you over the edge? He's gone. So, sorry, everyone. I can't help it. I'm just too funny. Just look at this again. Golly, what a play!
It's not often you see Waldvogel streaking deep like that. It was, in fact, the image of you being one of the 7 Dwarfs that really sent me over the edge. I think you would have fit in so well in that.
With a little hat? Oh, well, we've got a little audience here trying to watch that on the replay. Scorching Petit Waldvogel gets on his horse, jumps off it with a sick layout grab. Austrian player behind me nods his head in agreement.
Yeah, digging deep for that one.
Mining for it almost. What are you implying, Liam?
Well, he is shining like a diamond right now in this Hungarian sun. Great point for the Germans.
Yeah, very much in control in this game. 12-6, the current scoreline elsewhere on the field complex over on Field 1. That game between Finland and Switzerland that was 5-0 early on in favour of Switzerland, in favour of Finland, is now only 10-7. Ireland now 10-7 down as well to Switzerland in the game on the field next to us. Underneath, interception by Reina Beha.
Anna Royce now with the disc. Looking for that leading handler pass. Big fake, sends the Austrian flying. Schmidt. Honecker not afraid to send it. Quick flick just outside the end zone. Schmidt gets a little feathery flick to the front of the end zone. Konrad Schloer.
Feathery flick there, one of Liam Grant's greatest hits.
Yeah, obviously the #1 seller in the second album, Buttery Biscuits. Made my career. Bought a house with that one.
That was your moneymaker, wasn't it? It was your bread and butter. Also, how can you have buttery biscuits? Oh, there's been a stoppage. The disc has come back. I didn't see the infraction be called. Schloer has it now for the Germans. Shooting to Schmidt. That one's going to count. Now it is 13-6 to Germany.
Yeah, Schloer picking up the assist instead of the goal. Just there. Yeah, I didn't see the infraction either, but doesn't stop the Germans from banging it in. 2 points away from winning this match.
Schmidt to Schloer first time round, and then they reversed it. Schloer to Schmidt. Austria trying to keep their heads up high, but in all honesty, the Germans have been too good for them so far in this contest.
Yeah, going for the Missy Elliott play there.
And we see now them work it into the end zone for the goal. I don't know any other Missy Elliott tracks, I'm afraid.
Nobody does, Benji. Nobody does.
So 13-6, the current scoreline in favour of the Germans. Thank you for watching. Benji Reese alongside Liam Grant. Live action from Field 2 here at the European Ultimate Championships live on fanseat.com and the EUF Facebook page and YouTube channel, where these games will be available to watch back on demand at your viewing pleasure. Austrian still looking pretty happy on the sideline. Maybe they're listening to our hilarious commentary, Liam.
Or maybe they turned it off. Could be either.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
So Philip Haas on the D-line now for the Germans. Was handling back in the day with Oliver Young, and it was Hans Tiro in the 2015 final.
Hans Tiro of Heidelberg?
Yeah, I believe he is 41 years old now. Might be able to see him at the World Under 24 Championships, which is taking place in Heidelberg.
No, 41's older than 24. Oh, sorry. Got you. And I'll see you there, Liam.
Can't wait for that, Benji, as Austria huck it to absolutely nobody. Haas picking up the disc. Dennis Holzer in cruise control at the moment, this German side. Able to rest some of their O-line stars, but never resting this man.
Dosha seems to have endless energy. I don't know quite where he gets it from. And that's probably why they're happy to let him play on both lines. Mushawek puts it deep, right on the money to Philip Haas. Beautiful throw from Germany. 1 point away from the victory now.
Philip Haas, the player out of Siebenschwaben. I think they're from Stuttgart.
I was going to say Stuttgart. Apologies if we didn't quite pronounce that right. I think there's a little bit of softness on that S. This German side is really a collaboration. Obviously, players coming from Bad Skid in the form of the Beuthen Müllers, but Germany's club scene really thriving at the moment. Plenty of top teams in the open division. Think about Frisbee family from Düsseldorf. You mentioned Siebenschwaben, Heidi's, Wall City from Berlin as well. And think about on the mixed side, you've got teams like Colorado Karlsruhe. There's had Maltaschen. We had Desieben Todsenden in EUCF last year as well.
Not forgetting Hässliche Erdwirkel.
Of course, yeah, how could I? Finalists at EUCF last year, where they lost out to SEE 6, and they finished joint 7th, the joint highest placing European side at that contest, alongside Gut from the Netherlands.
Holger Beutenmüller already shaking hands on the sideline. He thinks this game is done. It is still happening.
Well, doing the right thing and thanking the volunteers and scorekeepers who work hard. And a lot of tournaments, they're kind of the people that go unnoticed, but they do put in a fantastic shift here.
Yeah, volunteers and score reporters, completely different things, not to be confused with at any moment or time.
But it's amazing to me that, and very grateful for people volunteering their time to come out, travel the world, help out at these tournaments, meet new people. It's a special thing, the Ultimate community at times.
I do know at World Ultimate Guts Championships in 2020, there will not be an Ultimate crew running the event. It's actually an event management company who do this for lots of different events, so that's going to be interesting to see. I don't think I've ever really seen a big event like that run by
not an Ultimate team.
Yeah, dare I say, muggles.
Yeah, that great grab we saw on the far sideline from Florian Moik. Wasted. The Germans now, foot on the gas, trying to put the Austrians to the sword.
And I'm surprised at the scoreline from the Austrians. It looks so good in those opening 2 points. No turnover. Reusch just outside the end zone now.
This German D-line doesn't look like a D-line offense. They're so calm and so patient, and I guess for most sides, this probably could well be an O-line.
Schloer, definitely a D-line player, but oh, that was a bad drop, has to be said.
Schönbauer maybe just thinking about towing the line at the front of the end zone, maybe already celebrating the victory in his head, and just slight lack of concentration at the crucial moment leads to the drop. That's unfortunate there for the Germans. Not that the Austrians will mind, and they're going to give it straight back, overthrows. Bauer into the hands of Schleur. Nice sliding grab from Behar. Did very well to maintain possession without contact with the ground. Those elbows hit hard.
And a timeout from Kronecker. Probably a good call. They have some timeouts in the bag. Looking a little tired. Able to set themselves. They'll be looking to end this game in this possession.
Something we see quite a lot, obviously, we talked about it before, is the curse of the turnout. What happens quite a lot is obviously you draw up a specific set play off a timeout, and because the defense can choose to set around after the offense is set up, often defenses, they've kind of got an idea of what happens. A lot of timeout plays are relatively similar. So they poach it, they set around it in various ways that takes away that first look. And obviously the risk with that is you need to have that internal clock going in your head after a couple of seconds. Maybe it's earlier than you would normally, thinking, okay, this set play isn't going to work. How can we adapt this? How can we reset, get back into our normal offense, get that disc flowing and get it back in motion? It's a tricky thing to do, picking up the disc when it's dead. Obviously, after a turnover, it's a little bit different because the offense can move before it's set back in. But obviously, you don't have that luxury off the timeout. So it often takes a couple of seconds just to get everything, all those cogs going in motion again.
Some German fans in the crowd there enjoying this game, and right they should. It's been a clinical performance from this German side. You know, I called them as my favourites to win the tournament. I think from this performance, it'd be hard to argue against that.
Yeah, they've been absolutely ruthless. It's a bit of a stereotype, really, a bit of a trope, the Germans being ruthlessly efficient, but they really have been in this game after they're a bit shaky early on. Their turnovers have been few and far between.
You mentioned that GB actually played the Austrians already in this tournament?
Yeah, won that game to 15-8. So this would be a larger scoreline, but obviously in Ultimate, the transitive property doesn't always quite apply like you think it should. That's one of the things I think most Ultimate players who've played for a while have discovered. You think, oh, that team beat that team, and they beat that team, so we should beat that team, and then somehow it never quite works out like that. That's why you get these wonderful three-way ties.
Setting up a 6-person vertical offense here, the Germans. Slightly offset. Reminds me of what you've seen at Japanese offense.
I know Ironside ran a no-dump vertical set for a while, and Nico Muller's played out there in Boston, so maybe that's one of the things that he's brought over to the side.
Roish around another Schlur.
Sure, another player who's played a lot of Ultimate in the States with the Pride of New York pony, so obviously he'll have learned how to play with and against that style.
Yeah, there was supposed to be another pony player at this event. Justin Norton was supposed to be playing for the Irish men's team. Unfortunately, got injured, didn't even actually travel to the event. I'm sure he's cheering on his teammate here, Conrad Schlor, who is on the roster for pony this year as well, although been spending a lot of time in Germany.
It's nice to see players committing all the way to coming over, not just playing with these sides, but actually committing to attending all the trainings, really becoming a part of the setup. And little milk into the end zone, full fat gold top for Martin Kronacker. And that is a ruthless performance from the Germans. 15-6 the final score, Liam. Just devastating the Austrians.
Yeah, Kronacker, the bad skid man, also played at Wall City in Berlin. Milked that one into the end zone like a little baby cow, or dairy cow.
I was going to say, surely you don't milk babies?
It's the babies who drink the milk.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, okay, I'm with you now, sorry.
No, I messed that up, don't worry.
No, the baby's the one drinking the milk. Yes, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that is how mammals work. And getting to work here, the German side winning this game 15-6, a stellar performance. Any final thoughts, Benji?
They make it look so easy. You forget that Austria is a top side. They could well go deep into the bracket, make their way into semi-finals, and the Germans just dispatched them like it was nothing. It's just ruthless, devastating efficiency from Germany. And you have a look at their results from the rest of the tournament as well. Obviously now in the power pool stage, so they'll take a win here, playing Ireland and Switzerland later, but the closest game they've had was to 10 against Italy, and that's still a very comfortable victory to 10. And putting aside to Austria, like Austria, beating them to 6 is just, it's semi-believable almost.
Yeah, I think the only other team in this division having a similar record is GB, or BG as they're sometimes known.
Yeah, these two sides have always seemed to be on a collision course to meet in the final. I think that's how the majority of people's brackets played out. They were the finalists in Copenhagen 4 years ago, and it'd be interesting to see whether there's someone's keen to play the bracket buster, but at the moment it looks like those two sides are unstoppable. And on the strength of the German performance here, you'd be a brave man to bet against them going all the way to that gold medal game.
Yeah, I'm still picking that as the final, as most people in Europe have. So I think we can wrap it up there, folks. I don't know if we'll get any more of the Ireland-Switzerland game. I imagine we're going to have to pack up things here.
Let it go, Liam. It's like, you can go and watch it now. We can wrap up the stream. You can be a proud Irishman to your heart's content.
Yeah, thanks very much for watching, folks. Liam Grant alongside Benji Reese. We'll leave you there. See you later.
Alti.tv